Hello, and welcome, my Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross-watchers. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, fellow Earth sign Virgo that I am, Mark Angelo Lyons. Al for short, they're my initials. I am a professional witch, a professional intuitive. I am the president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. Author of 2 different books with a third one on the way. The first book is called Spell Ingredients from a Professional Witch. The second book is called Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, a book of prayer, and it's in chakra chapters. There are chakras in this reading, and if you would like to preview it for free, there is a Kindle version available, and you can click on it and see the table of contents in the chakra chapters. I am also available. Both of those books are available in their original PDF ebook form over on patreon.com/drawing the circle in our digital shop. Lots of cool stuff there. Ebooks, videos, audios. They got previews, the audios and the videos. I love me some Patreon. Some of my subscribers get those books, audios, and videos as part of their benefit package, but all of my subscribers get the same 3 benefits. They get a daily check-in. I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link pretty much every morning. Did it this morning. We're doing this on a new moon, so they got a little new moon vibe this morning. We chat about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a blessing, something to send us on our way. Best way for me to start the day considering my work, career, and vocation in this lifetime. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s. All of my extended readings are timeless, and they all are relationship stuff based. Twin flame, soulmate, blah, blah, blah. As well as they get an extensive discount when they book me for a private session. We'll talk about that at the end of the reading, and I love it. You can follow us for free. I'm putting out content specifically for my free followers on Patreon. As well as you can 7-day free trial us as a seeker or a human, $3 and $5 a month respectively. Get it free for 7 days, but if you want the discount, you gotta stay for at least a month and book me during that month to get that discount, and I love it. Best career move I have ever made, so if you want to check it out, click the link and look at the menu and come Patreon on Patreon, because I am the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can just call me Mal. Hey, my bulls, my adorables. Very happy to be in my new studio here in my new home in Saratoga Springs. The move was chaotic, but it was very, very well worth it. And my 2 cats, Balthazar and Melchior, feel like they've always lived here because cats are in the present moment. Don't you wish we all were? So let's do some explanation for the new Taurians and the cross-watchers, and then we'll get into the divination, because I've been doing work, career, vocation reads for many, many years, decades, since I learned about the 3 levels of power from Caroline Myss. That's MYSS. She is a PhD. These are her archetype cards, and she's written a bunch of books that have really made a difference for me. Anatomy of the Spirit, where I learned about the 8 chakra system, and we'll be using that in this reading, as well as her work in Sacred Contracts. That book is life-changing, and there is a YouTube video link in the description box. Caroline Myss talking about the 3 levels of power, a way of taking large things like your life purpose and breaking it into 3 chunks. Your work, your career, and your vocation. It's all one thing, but if we kind of tweak, work on, heal one aspect of it, the other 2 usually come into alignment. So everybody came into this life to do certain things. These work, career, vocation reads usually are about the money and the career and all that kind of stuff too, but also they're about relationships, and they're about fulfillment, and they're about our spiritual life and how we all integrate all of that. So it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, sun, moon, rising, blah, blah, blah. And cross-watchers have an opportunity here to help the one they are cross-watching for fulfill their life purpose. Because as one of us does, even just a little bit, we all move forward. It's an upward spiral. We're all one entity, blah, blah, blah. One spirit, one love, one heart, until someone's not getting paid, right? We're working on that. And I think that's enough explanation, except to say that the decks that I'm using for these readings, we're going to start with 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards for what's going on in the 8th chakra, the satellite sending down the codes to all the other chakras. I know the lighting's a little weird here today. I'm working on it. Here we go. Still learning the new studio as it's learning me. It's a little, Joan Crawford vibe going on here at the moment. So we'll get 3 of these, 1 for your work, 1 for your career, 1 for your vocation. Then we'll get 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the next 4 chakras down, the internal feminine energy, hence Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Work, career, vocation. We're going to get all of these on the table face down, and then we'll flip them over. Work, career, vocation. And for the outside, looking in at yourself, from the inside you looking out at people, places, and things, your relationships in the physical world, the masculine energy, we will be using the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke. We're going to get all 9 of those on the table face down, and then we'll go, work, career, vocation. We'll get 1 Whisper of Lord Ganesha by Angela Hartfield, because he's the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. And we'll talk about the atoms in between lead and gold when we get there. And we will end with a Matt Kahn healing mantra to give you a mantra, something to focus the mind on, to help bring not just the chakras into alignment, but to bring your work, career, and vocation into alignment as well. So we're going to get down to it in a second, but I want to say these 3 cards really set the tone. What's going on in the 8th chakra is very, very powerful. That's the home of your contracts. That's where you signed them before you came down into body, right? So you can have an archetypal reason, season, or lifetime, as well as you could be dealing with somebody who has these archetypes, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Regardless, it's your journey, it's your life purpose, and we're all teaching each other and we're all learning from each other. Yeah. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I promise you I'll do my best to help anybody fulfill their life purpose, because that's how I fulfill my life purpose apparently in this lifetime. I don't know, I've had a lot of lives. This one's kind of fun. So let's get, don't just sit there. Let's get to it. Strike a pose. There's nothing to it. Breathe. All of that for this. Still point. Pantheonic override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it. So let it be done. Beloved pantheons of the divine, what are the dominant archetypes in the 8th chakra for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers? I need 3 of them, 1 for work, 1 for career, 1 for vocation. Face down what's going on in their work. That's first level of power, what's going on in their vocation. Second level of power, their career, work, career, and vocation. Their third level of power for this timeless work, career, vocation read. Now these are all in the title. So I usually put these all face down first, but something told me you've got the Hermit in your vocation, the Martyr in your career, and the Avenger assemble in your work. These next 6 we're going to put face down because we got to dive into those. Those are very, very powerful. Well, archetypes are about power. They're about how we alchemize our power from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, from toxicity to health, shifting to a more golden timeline, a more fulfilling timeline, particularly life purpose fulfilling. So hard third eye crown, a lot of energy here. Let's see what hits the table. Please take a nice deep breath. Try to pull my eyes out of that direct sunlight. Still point. Goddesses override. A place for everything and everything in its place. put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved goddesses, what's going on? Heart, throat, third eye crown for the Taurus, the cross watchers, and in their work. Heart, throat, third eye crown, second level of power in their career. Heart, throat, third eye crown in their vocation for this timeless work, career, vocation read. Let's get these guys down. Really, the Hermit, Martyr, Avenger. That sounds pretty cool, actually, in its gold. Here we go. Still point. God's override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. My beloved gods, what's going on? Outside in, inside out, lower three chakras. Relationships in the physical world for the Taurus and their cross-watchers in their work. In their career. Said it right this time. And in their vocation for this timeless work, career, vocation read. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to start with work. How you survive in the world, your survival intuition, lower three chakra dominant, like how you navigate through the world. The Avenger is an action family archetype. There are 9 different groups or families. Written on the card is the shadow and the light. I call this lead, this gold. 3 atoms in between that cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed, transmuted, alchemized, forgiven, released, however you want to do that. So the shadow of the Avenger, now if we see this in the physical world, like in the news or in our lives, that means that we have a role to play in it. The shadow attribute, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Yeah, I think we've seen that on the planet pretty much since Jump. The light attribute, the goals you're shooting for. Desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society and or oneself, because we're not separate from society, right? And you shift the quantum a little bit, that affects everybody. So, a lot of pentacles here. On the inner, you've got the 8 of Pentacles, the learner. A crone, well, the lighting, I'm working on it. The crone teaching a maiden how to make the traditional tribal blankets that have been passed down, right? So it is that learner. The 8 of Pentacles on the inner, Earth on the inside isn't about your internal organs, but it is about the wisdom that you have gained that cannot be stolen from you. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. So it really is things that we learned from the physical world. In this case in your work, and you've got yourself a double whammy, an 8 of Pentacles. It's 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. That is incredibly rare with only 2 tarot decks in a reading. So I would say, 8 of Pentacles, put your head down, right? Put your head down, get your work done, go through it. 8s are lovely, 8s are stable. You're 1 away from the 9 and 2 away from the 10. So there is something about justice here for yourself, for other people, and an Avenger, the opposite of justice is really not injustice, it's vengeance, right? Revenge is not justice, right? That's when we get really possessed by that, and that's when we resort to violence. And maybe not just, physical violence, mental violence, emotional violence, even spiritual violence is a thing. But when we do that to ourselves, right, we tend to treat people when we're not aware of it the way we were treated, right? So, and vice versa, right? People treat us the way they were treated, and it's just written in there, right? So there's a lot of work that is in front of you right now in work. So let's look, this could be tricky, with the Martyr in your career. Now I know nobody likes the word, but it is neutral. All archetypes are, I'm really getting some interesting lighting effects in here today. So the Martyr is a divine family archetype. So this is about spiritual power. The shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. I've been there. How could I not? I was raised by a bunch of martyrs, not all of them. But, I do, and I do for you people, and what do I get in return? Nothing, right? So, we absorb that stuff from birth if you were born to or around martyrs. But what you're shooting for is so beautiful. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And that lines up really well with the gold of the Avenger, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So the word oneself is literally doubled there. And here we have a martyr soaring through the air with roses, right? It really is quite an amazing thing. So martyrdom need not be all about hair shirts and perdition and suffering, but, you know, that word addiction to self-pity. Self-pity is an emotion. It's a verb as well as a noun, I guess you could say. And as a result, every emotion has biochemical components, right? When you feel joy, endorphin, right? When you feel stress, cortisol, and a whole bunch of others in there. So, you know, to be addicted to that there is a chemical part of emotional addictions. On the inside, the Seven of Blades meditation, right? I believe this is an Inuit woman with her dog over a hole in the ice fishing. It is about stillness. Your phone didn't glitch. It's about the still point. It's about listening, right? Meditation is the word on the card, but meditation, there are many different forms of meditation, I believe, as there are people, right? They're like shoes. You got to try them on first, see if they fit, walk around in them in a while, and if they ain't it, they ain't it. On the outer, the death card, Lord Hades, husband of Persephone, oldest of the Olympian gods, and the god of wealth, by the way. People forget that. He's not a murderer. He's got to sort everybody out down there in the underworld. You go into the Elysian fields, you're going to the asphodel fields, you know, or are you going to the Isle of the Blessed, which means you don't have to reincarnate on planet Earth anymore. But certainly the traditional meaning of the death card is transformation, so very rarely about physical, literal death, but it is also an alchemical card. It is a card of alchemy, the transformation, the phoenix. Alchemy takes time, pressure, and heat. So that stillness on the inside, that meditation on the inside, to maybe allow those feelings. And if you're an empath, you might be picking up other people's martyrdom emotionally, and maybe even, I'm an earth sign, I'm a Virgo, sometimes it's visceral. You're like, where is this coming from? Like, I just moved to Saratoga Springs about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, and just driving down Broadway, sometimes I'm like, whoa, is this me? And then I drive away, I'm like, no, right? But there's a purpose to that. So to turn martyrdom into service and get like, no, my spirit, I am an important part of this universal, ineffable plan, right? It's better than anything I can imagine or conceive. But of course, in your career, lower 3 chakras, when it's a major arcana card like that, it's usually all 3. This could be that your career is transforming and you might not feel great about that, right? A lot of industries have changed. I mean, since the pandemic, let alone since the digital age, right? So, you know, there's a lot going on here in your career, and your career is your hunger, your passion, your thirst. It's what allows your soul to embody, and your creativity and all of that. So, you know, serve yourself first, right? It's like the little pop-down mask in the airplane, right? Serve yourself first, then put it on the kid, unless you're doing inner child work. See, moving right along. Dugga-dum. You got the Hermit, one of my favorite archetypes. I called myself the Hermit of Holbrook for the past 6 years. The shadow attribute, I can relate to this so clearly. Withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgment of others. Yeah, I'll cop to that. Refusing to help those in need, though, no. Unless every chakra is a no, you can't help them. Vampire, right? And that does happen because the light attribute is worth all of that. Seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. So the amount of creativity it takes, not just to do these readings, but to do Patreon and still getting the house together, right? Doing readings at the Magic Moon in Saratoga a couple of days a week. It's just a lot. So that Hermit time for me is just absolutely essential. And this is your vocation. This is your spiritual calling. And it is a wisdom family archetype. Inside you, I can't believe you got the Seven of Pentacles. So, okay, appraisal, right? So you plant seeds in spring, you harvest at fall, and you look at it and you say, was it worth it? Is it worth it? Is all of this worth it? Now, that is certainly something that we do when we go into hermit mode, right? To say, all right, it's time to appraise, or if you like, estimate, right? Like an estimate, and self-esteem, self-estimation. Self-estimation is a verb, not a noun. We use it as a noun as though we could have it or not have it, but we're always doing it, and it can be very subconscious. And you could say the heart, third eye, crown chakras are subconscious. Doesn't mean you're not aware of it, but you may not be aware of all of it. Like even on an iceberg, you can see a little bit below the water, but you really can't see the whole thing, right? Interesting. Oh, and 10 of Wands. Now look, I'm not a 10 of Wands hater, H-E-T-E-R, but this is Jason and the Argonauts at the end of the quest to retrieve the golden fleece, right? It's a really, really adventurous myth in that way. The entire suit of wands is that. The pentacles is Daedalus, Icarus and wings and all of that. Don't fly too high, darlings. I don't believe such thing is necessary, honestly. So the Ten of Wands is a completion, but it may be as the result of a transformation that has gone on in your career, where now you have accomplished something, but like the story of the Argo, the ship that Jason and the Argonauts retrieved said golden fleece with, the Argo is all busted up by the time it gets there. There is an exhaustion sometimes with that, and that would make sense with the Hermit to say, oh, just pull back. And appraise, right? Look at, like, is this of value to me spiritually? Is this fulfilling me spiritually? Now, that doesn't mean that everybody needs to have a spiritual job, but it is about bringing your spirituality into the workplace, into your career. No one needs to know that stuff. I don't mind. I'm Mars conjunct Leo rising. I couldn't hold it back if I tried, right? I'm not good at fronting. No, I have to be authentic because I don't want to have to keep reincarnating in this level of the illusion of separation. But I have to say, the amount of pentacles in this says to me that this is most likely about the finances, right? And the wisdom that you have gained and the hard work that you're doing, and it will pay off. It always does, whether in physical wealth or internal wealth or both. The transformation that you're going through here seems to be key. I would say of these three, it is probably your vocation, your third level of power here. That is your leverage, although the choice, see, we have free will. We can choose to heal this stuff or not. So with that Seven of Blades on the inner in your career, and taking that time for meditation and stillness as you allow the transformation to take place of the Death card, because it's going to happen with or without your free will, right? So you might as well say, all right, let's make the best of this. And then, of course, working with that Hermit in something that perhaps is unjust here, and you really learning something from it, right? So maybe we don't have to keep doing it over and over again, like financial inequality and all that stuff. So Tarot's on the table. Let's get a whisper of Lord Ganesha. There are only 2 book reads in this spread this time around. So let's see what the beloved Lord Ganesha has to say about removing the obstacles, moving us from lead to gold in your work, career, and vocation. Please take a nice deep breath. Ganesha override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved Lord Ganesha, what is your loving, wise, empowered oracle message to help the Tauruses and the Cross Watchers alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, shifting from toxicity to health and fear to love, to remove the obstacles in their life purpose in this timeless work, career, vocation read? Openness. Openness. That's interesting. I don't think we've ever had this one before. I've had this deck about a year or so, maybe a little bit longer. So, maybe we haven't hit all of these cards. Let's see. Openness. Here's what Ganesh has to say. Observe. Seven of Blades. And make inquiries before forming a conclusion, right? Conclusions like, this is what's happening. What do we know? Come see, come saw. When the moon is waning in the crescent phase, it is a good time to begin to review endeavors and correct mistakes. That's kind of on the table here. Like, I can absolutely see that, particularly because waning moon is the death part of it, right? Those last 3 days, dark moon, doing this during a dark moon, new moon in Sagittarius is tonight. It is time to throw out what you no longer need and clear away excess and old energy, including any clutter you may have accumulated. In addition to discarding excessive material things in your life, eliminate any unhealthy behaviors and relationships. Appraisal. That feels like your leverage. You may find that you are trying to decide between two options. Darling, you gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I go? This card is not about making a decision, but more about taking the time to really listen to your heart and your inner voice. Ganesha advises you to gain more information before you act. Appraisal, right? That martyrdom can force us into doing things in its lead that is not really great because it perpetuates the self-pity. Been there, done that, have the burnt t-shirt. Ganesha advises you to gain more information before you act. This knowledge can be in many forms, including your innate knowledge. Pentacles, right, on the inner, your innate knowledge, self-knowledge, secret knowledge, or even more esoteric wisdom. You may find that what you are attaining might be both mysterious and magical. Sounds good. You are in a conscious process of creative release. That's interesting. Creative release. They almost sound like opposites. Give thanks and gratitude for the things that you have accomplished. Don't feel rushed or pressured to begin a new undertaking. And with the amount of pentacles here, that makes sense, particularly with the Ten of Wands on the outer there. It's sort of like, no, we're done for now. Stick a fork. Review your goals and regroup accordingly. Once you have all of the necessary information, you will begin to feel motivated to set some new goals and start new projects, which would make sense with the Ten of Wands there as a completion, with the Death card there. But with that Eight of Pentacles on the inner and on the outer, which I'm telling you is rare, a double whammy like that in your work, it just makes a lot of sense. But it is about justice, right? Just be care of vengeance. I know, earth signs, I am one. May they twist and turn, writhe and burn. Sometimes you want to do other things with your candles. That being said, let's get our last card down. Matt Kahn Healing Mantra. One of my favorites. These work if you work them, but it's all free will. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ascended Master Override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. Beloved Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra to help the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross-watchers alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, their toxicity to health, shifting from fear to love, from illusion to truth, to become happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser beings in a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, fulfilling their life purpose in their work, career, vocation for this timeless work, career, and vocation reading. Integrating the ego. Integrating the ego. Ready? Here's the mantra. Everything is for me, not against me. It doesn't mean you have to like it. That's not required. This sucks, but somehow it's happening for me. Do you know how many times I have said that? I've had this deck since it came out in 2018, right? So let me read you this one, right? Because the ego is an aspect of the soul that is in its most dormant, right? It's like the seed that gets planted and then it grows, right? So integrating the ego, we need to be more loving of the ego because it is essentially innocent. It believes the illusion of separation wholeheartedly and whole-mindedly, and everything is a threat. Everything is a threat to the ego, even a good day, waiting for the other shoe to drop. So integrating the ego, everything is for me, not against me. And with an injustice issue here in work, like I said, it's helping you to make justice happen here. When your ego is integrated, there are no problems to fix or questions to answer. Okay, there are just the aligned responses of the soul's reality, acknowledging life as the fertile ground where greater expansion is revealed. And that's what wisdom does. When you learn something, like really viscerally learn something through direct experience in your own life, it shifts the nervous system. It makes all of these changes we're completely unaware of, right? We get stronger and we expand in our awareness, we expand in our capacity. And as we release the three atoms between lead and gold, we make room. We make room. There is a natural expansion of that. As you integrate your ego, every moment can be seen to be conspiring for your highest evolution instead of plotting against you. So your highest evolution is not necessarily one where you get what you want all the time. It never has been. We don't get what we want. We get what we need. And when what we want and what we need is the same thing, we think we did it. And when we get what we need, but it's not what we want, we think we did something wrong. And none of that is true. All of this stuff was written before we ever took a breath in this life. It's like a video game, right? We would love to think that we can hack the program, but we really can't, because even our mistakes are perfect from the soul's point of view. The ego never sees it that way. This mantra is ideal for overcoming victimhood, hence the Avenger somewhere, being more grateful and becoming more forgiving. And you can start with yourself by saying, you know what? All of my mistakes were divinely timed and perfectly planned, and and who crosses the T and dots the I's all the time? Except maybe for Virgos. I'm kidding. So, lovely spread here, incredibly powerful, but we're going to put it together in what's called a blessimation, a combination of a blessing and a summation. And we'll talk about cool stuff if you want to hang out for it. Hey, you don't even have to hang out for this. This is free will. So, if you will, one last time, please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As we end, as we began. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, on behalf of the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to fulfill their life purpose in their work, with a desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society and their selves, accepting that they are the learner, that they are learning as they go. 8 of Pentacles on the inner is very strong and very solid, and something that is only 2 pentacles away from the 10, with the 8 of Pentacles on the outer, that they are moving forward. They may not see it. There may be an injustice here, but it's all happening for them. It's not against them. And so that in their career, they may learn the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, which fits with the Avenger as well, with that 7 of Blades, meditation and stillness and silence to integrate the ego on the inner while this death transformation happens to them, to their company, to their whatever, however it shows up in their life. But it is a necessary transformation and alchemy to release those 3 atoms in their career, and may they be blessed with all that they need in their vocation, that they may seek solitude to focus intently on inner life, serving their personal creativity while they appraise the situation with the 7 of Pentacles, looking back over seeds sown and deciding what to do with that, because they are at the end of the cycle of fire in the major arcana of Wands. Something they set off with the Ace of Wands has become the 10, and they may very well be exhausted and maybe even a little burned out. So may they remove the obstacles in their work, career, vocation, their life, life purpose through openness, to get the information that they need, not necessarily acting from a place of pain, but acknowledging that pain, that frustration, what have you, as they integrate the ego, because all of this, everything is for them, not against them. And may they be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to prosper, to become the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest versions of themselves that they can be, in the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest ways, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world in the golden timeline, for the well-being of all, that means all of us, and with harm to none, including nature, as we will it. Oh, so let it be done. So let it be. And so it is. I love that lion roar. Thank you, Janet Grace. If you liked the reading, if you felt it was helpful, if you felt it was insightful, gave you a little clue, a little tip, a little hit, please hit the thumbs up and help other Taurians and crosswatchers find it. You want more of me? Subscribe, hit the notification bell. I do love a comment section. My comment section has been truly blessed with positive feedback the whole time I've been on YouTube, and I'm very happy about that. And certainly if you want the deeper dive, patreon.com/drawingthecircle. Oh, the digital store is so much fun. There are now previews for the videos and audios. It's just so cool. Seekers, humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, mystics, gods, goddesses are my levels of subscription, but you can follow us for free, right? You can 7-day free trial as Seeker or Human. All of my subscribers get the daily check-ins, the extended readings, and the extensive discount. I love it. Best career move I've ever made, and allows me to integrate my work, career, and vocation all in one place, but not only in that one place. And if you would like to book me for a private session, because I take clients come first, right? And I've done emergency readings, they happen, I can juggle a schedule. I am a Virgo. There is a video in the description box. Click the link and watch Booking Private Sessions with Mel. It explains everything for you. I would have to say it over and over and over in every reading, so I kind of do anyway. But it explains how to book me, what my boundaries are, what I can do, what I can't do. If it's in person, I have an office downstairs that's getting nice and fixed up to take clients in my house, but that's a little ways off. But I can certainly do things online. I've been doing video clients for quite a while now. I do it on Zoom. I record it. It's a conversation, not just somebody recording a reading and sending it to you. No, I record it, I send it to you, you download it, then you tell me you downloaded it, I delete it. All of that is in the video, but the most important thing I say in that video, and I will die on this hill, right? I have never turned anybody away because of lack of finances. Where there is a witch, there is a way. I am a witch, so there is a way. We can work it out. I am glad to. There's always a way to get things done. And honestly, my beloved Taurians, I love Taurians. I love Taurus. I really, really do. Some real stable, solid friends throughout this lifetime that have really made a difference in my life, and I adore them. So I believe in you. You can do this. Just gotta stay open. Learn a little bit. A lot of insight is gonna come from your second and third level of power. So just keep your head down. Fight the good fight, right? Be an Avenger. But remember, you can do that with your head down, doing your work. Maybe even through prayer and meditation. So hang in there. I believe in you. You can do this. You are one of the wealth signs. So do the alchemy. Have at it. Good luck. Hail. Farewell, and blessed, blessed be.